I always enjoy having conversations about AI with people from different backgrounds because it gives me a better perspective on where AI adoption really is, especially outside the tech bubble. Even though I spend my days architecting and implementing AI solutions along with my team, I still learn a lot from talking to non-technical friends, business owners, and people who are simply trying to understand what all this AI thing means in real life. And recently, during a social gathering, during a conversation, someone mentioned that their company has a coaching chatbot that kind of guides. It's like almost like onboarding chatbot where employees could go and ask questions about company culture, internal procedures, what they should do in certain situations, the company policies, and everything. And the chatbot would kind of guide them so they can adapt easily to the company culture and everything else. And then that person asked, "Do you guys? I'm confused. Do you think there's an AI agent? Because I've been a little bit confused with this concept of AI agent." And interestingly, most of the folks there said, "Yeah, that's an AI agent." And then I said, "No, it's not an AI agent." And suddenly they kind of turn, they look at me like, "How dare you face right?" And then we started a debate in there. What was interesting was that to me, it's not that people had a different answer. It was that I realized I had assumed that the concept of AI agents was more widely understood than it actually is. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. If you if you have this kind of trouble and differentiate between us, an AI chatbot and AI agent, you're not alone. So I went on to explain what's the basic difference between an AI chatbot and an AI agent. And the most simple way, I guess, to explain the difference between an AI chatbot and an AI agent is that one is reactive, the other one acts, right? For example, AI chatbot, you ask a question, it answers back. You ask, for example, think about ChatGPT or Claude, for example, you're just asking a question, hey, how should I answer this email? And then it gives you a draft, right? So that's a chatbot mode, right? It doesn't take action. It just reacts to your question. It's there, sitting in there. It's not doing anything by itself. It's waiting for you to go and ask a question and then answer back. So that's the chatbot, right? It's a conversational chatbot, which is great. It's getting you answers, but it's not taking actions, right? It's just answering the questions, right? It's reactive. Now, AI agent, on the other hand, it's autonomous, right? It takes actions. It doesn't it doesn't wait for you to kind of bring that ask a question or constantly inputting information or inquiries and for it to produce an answer. It's just autonomous. It runs usually 24/7 to achieve whatever is programmed to achieve. Once you set up an AI agent, it runs non-stop. And whatever is programmed to do, it does it autonomously. It doesn't need you to be there to tell, okay, go right, left, go right, no, do this, do that. Because from the moment it is set up, you give it a prompt, you give it the tools it needs, you give it everything it needs, you let it run. And it's not waiting for you to go and guide it because his prompt already tells it what to do. And then autonomously, it takes the step it needs to take to achieve the desired outcome, which doesn't happen with chatbot. Chatbot wouldn't do that. Chatbot would just answer your question. I think one analogy we could do is think like a person. We have brain, we have arms, we have legs, right? If you ask me a question, I'm just answering the question. I would say I'm in the chatbot mode. I'm just answering questions, conversational chatbot, just having a conversation. Now, if you ask me, let's say let's say you have an employee and you tell the employee, like, this is your goal every day, I need you to do this, all right? And then to make sure by the end of the day, all these tasks are done, all right? So in that case, your staff, your employee is going to take action autonomously. He or she already knows what to do. I mean, what's the desired outcome, right? And then autonomously, they're going to take whatever action necessary, use whatever tools at their disposal. They're going to use their hands, not use only their brain, right? They're going to use their hands. They're going to grab things. They're going to carry things until they produce the outcome, until they complete the task that you assigned to them, right? In that case, you could see that your employee is like an AI agent because it's acting autonomously towards a desired outcome. While if you, for example, you're just talking to a counselor or anyone, you're asking questions, they're just giving answers, they're not taking any action. So this is just conversation, just conversational AI chatbot, right? So that's the main difference, the most basic difference for anyone to understand, in my opinion, the difference between AI chatbot and AI agent. One reactive, the other one acts, right? So based on that, in this case, for example, the AI chatbot, that this coaching chatbot or onboarding, if you will, chatbot that they have in their company, because it just answers questions about a company, the internal policies from the company's knowledge base, it's just an AI chatbot, of course. But the interesting thing is that you could anytime turn that AI chatbot into an AI agent, right? That's the fun part. You can just turn any AI chatbot into AI agent. For example, if you work in ChatGPT, you have this agentic mode that you can use, where it can connect to tools, it can search websites, etc., to get you information, which is the agentic mode. Or you can just keep that chatbot mode, just talking, asking questions, getting answers from their knowledge base. And but again, you can turn any AI chatbot into an AI agent by giving it tools, access to tools they can use to achieve whatever outcome you desire. And also, usually agents, they have access to short or long-term memory. They kind of know your preferences. They know what you like. They know how you like things to be done. Think about it like if you have a personal assistant. And usually that personal assistant, if you translate that in terms of, if you just use that as an analogy, that personal assistant is like an AI agent. They understand what you like, your preferences, and they memorize that. So whatever they do, they make sure that they always apply your preferences. For example, if you have a personal assistant, you say like, hey, book a flight for me from this place to that place. Because they know, for example, that you only like to go into in the first class or business class. You don't have to tell them that, hey, you got to be first class, because they already know that you only go first class, for example. They know your preference. Hey, I like to go to dinner in the evening. I'm near a good restaurant, and because they know your dietary needs, they know what you're allergic to or not. They might look. They know what dishes you like. They would just try to find a restaurant, for example, that that pleases you, a restaurant that works for you, right? Because they know your preferences. And if you bring that to the agentic AI, it's like they have a memory of what you like, and they act based on that. Now, on top of the memory, they have access to the tools, right? For example, your personal assistant might have access to credit cards. They can go, they should have access to a phone. They can use the phone to call the restaurant to make the reservation. They can make payments on your, if you give them a credit card, they can make payments. So they have access to tools. They have access to your calendar. They're going to block that time in the calendar is for dinner, so you don't book any meeting at that time. So they have access to tools. And the same thing you could do in an AI agent, right? You can give the AI agent access to memory, the preference, things they should know about you. You give the AI agent access to your calendar, and you can do all those tasks autonomously. And you give the right prompt, and you can do all that autonomously, right? And so essentially, that's the difference between AI chatbot. Obviously, there's different kind of AI chatbots, AI agents. There are complicated AI agents that have access to tons of tools. They're simple AI agents. They have access to specific tools, they have specific prompt. And one pro tip, if you're building an agentic AI system, my advice is have a bunch of small focused AI agents. That's what we do. We're in the battlefield every day implementing AI agents. And what we do, when we have you have a big task, a big project. Instead of having one AI agent, with multiple roles, doing multiple stuff, have smaller AI agents, each one with their own role, smaller prompts, okay, and with access only to the tools they need with a proper guardrail. So you could have, for example, a few agents working together to be your assistant. For example, you can have one agent, just an example, which you can give the role of, okay, you just take care of bookings, managing my calendar, right? So that's all the agent can do. And then the other agent, your role is to check my emails and see if there's anything important and notify me. And then you have another agent. So one is checking the calendar, the other one is checking if anything important is in the email, right? And you can have another agent that can even go online and purchase things for you, or submit an order, or add things to cart for you, right? And so on and so forth. So you can have multiple agents, and all these agents working together to be a specific to solve a specific problem, right? In this case, you want a personal assistant. Instead of having one single agent with a huge prompt with access so many tools, which increase the likelihood of failure, you can have multiple smaller agents connected to each other. One agent complete this task and pass to the other one, and then pass to the other one. In the end, you have, for example, the supervisor agent that kind of supervise all the agents, make sure everything's being done as it should, and then you interact with that one supervisor agent, which gets information from the other agent. This is just an architecture thing that I think will be valuable as you plan to implement a agentic system. And so yeah, we're going to be making more videos about AI agents and how you should architect your AI agent, how you should implement them. So make sure you stay subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like and comment, stay involved, because we're going to bring a lot of videos, practical recommendations, because these things that we do daily. So you're getting directly from people who know, people who actually being in the, not theory, not hype, real stuff. We build real agentic systems, right? That have real impact in business, that producing daily real impact, the real deal. So make sure you subscribe, stay tuned, because next videos are coming up soon. That's all for now. Thanks.